The following show may contain strong language and adult themes, so audience discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the Hot Potato Show, the show where me, David Allen, and my good friend Craig talk about the top news stories of the week and anything else that just springs to our minds. This week on the show we're going to be talking about marijuana problems in the UK. We're going to be talking about the companies that aren't paying minimum wage. We're going to be talking about the TV debates for the general election with David Cameron running with his tail between his legs. We are also going to continue on with our series of biggest fails of the week and anything else that comes up while we record this show. So hello to all our listeners out there, please get comfy and join us as we sit back, relax and just generally discuss the topics of the week. So first of all I'll bring in, as always, my good friend Craig. Hi Craig.
Hi Dave, how's it going mate?
Yes, not too bad. I've got to be honest, it was a bit touch and go as to whether we're going to do this week because I've had a monster abscess all week. I've not actually told you this.
Oh really?
No, yeah, I didn't want to sort of jinx tonight not happening, so yeah. I have had a monster abscess.
You've had problems with that before, haven't you? Pretty recently?
Yeah, I mean, my teeth are in shit state because I didn't look after them properly. And
there you go, kids. Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth after every meal. But I've always been quite susceptible to them, even when I was younger. I used to always get them, but it was just really bad.
I've had a couple of them, they are painful.
Yeah, they are painful, but I also have a severe phobia of the dentist, so...
I remember.
I treat it at home.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but I'll leave the details out for the squeamish.
Yeah.
So yes, other than that, and the fact that I've been fighting with the housing authority over our heating, all has been well. How about you, Craig? How has your week been?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Something that I noticed earlier on today, though, it was actually just on my way here. On my way here, I passed like a retail part where you've got a DIY place and a fast food place. Do you know where I mean? Big retail park.
What, in Ashton?
Yeah. Ardenshire-ish.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I was actually calling it next on my way here because I needed to get a gift card for someone. It was like a birthday present.
For me?
No, your birthday's been and gone.
Where's my gift card? I don't want one for next.
You got a card, just not a gift card.
I did get a card. Yeah, it was anyway, a very nice card.
I was driving in, and the traffic going in and out was horrendous. And it's usually bad on a weekend anyway, because a lot of people go into the DIY place, do all the DIY stuff at the weekend. I'm thinking, well, it's a bit late though, to be getting all this DIY stuff. And as I went around the corner, it turned out they were all queuing in to get into McDonald's in the drive-thru. But isn't January supposed to be like the healthy month where you have the New Year's resolutions, eat a little bit healthy because you've completely stuffed yourself in December? Obviously not for some people.
Not for me.
Oh.
No, it's Saturday night. It's always going to be a Big Mac night for a lot of people.
Yeah. But I just thought people were on a bit of a health kick. I mean, especially I know the gym that I go to, it's absolutely hammered. With all these people who will be there for about 3 weeks, but we won't be there soon. You know what I mean? They lose some motivation, don't they?
I thought we were going on another major road rage traffic rant again, because I was going to say it's becoming a recurring theme that you just...
I have got a road rage incident, actually.
Go on.
Right, obviously at the minute we're getting quite a lot of snow. So the gritters are out all on the road. Your cars end up filthy. So just a couple of days ago I thought, I'll get my car washed. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a mess. Not cleaned it for a couple of months. Paid £5 to have it cleaned. Went on the motorway. Had a look at it. It was even worse than what it was before it was cleaned. It was absolutely covered in all the salts from the grit. It's like, what's the point? I may as well have chucked that fiver down the grid.
Well, that's your fault, isn't it, really?
What, I was trying to keep my car clean?
Well, no,
because we need to use non-staining salt. I don't know if it exists, but someone should invent it.
They need to just grit the roads so people don't crash. You say we've had a lot of snow though. Literally every single day, all the news has been full of it. Snowmageddon is coming. Everyone prepare. We're all going to die.
I know.
But then nothing's fallen at all, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Manchester's in a bit of a sort of low ground valley situation. I mean, the area of Manchester we're in, it starts to head up towards the hills again. But compared to the news stories saying we were going to get 15 feet of snow and crap like that, we've not really sort of had that much at all.
We say it every year, don't we? It's going to be like the coldest winter on record, but it's obviously not.
Yeah, but we don't know. They do, but we never get it. I remember, was it about 3 years ago when we really had some snow?
2010 and 2011.
Yeah. And It wasn't bad compared to like other places, but it shut down the country.
Yeah.
It literally shut down the country. Literally, no one was going anywhere.
Yeah, but a bit of snow in the entire country crumbles. You could
Yeah.
see it today. You could see it happening. I was driving in Huddersfield because there was a light skimming of snow on the road, right? You had people going 5 mile per hour. It's like, if you can't go above 5 mile per hour and be safe on a road, you shouldn't be driving. You are unsafe to people like me for going so slow.
Who were doing 85.
Yeah. No. You know, like, you slow down a little bit, but because they're going so slow, obviously you've got faster traffic coming up. They're going to brake, and you know, we've got more chance of skidding. Especially with the snow and the ice on the road.
Again, I don't drive, so.
Yeah. To be honest, I am a bit of an aggressive driver sometimes. So.
Yeah, we are quickly getting this feeling from you, Craig.
Yeah.
So just before we get cracking with the main part of the show, let's just remind everyone. Oh, first, actually, a big thank you to everyone who listened to the first episode. We had an idea in our mind that if we got above about 50 views on YouTube, we'd be very happy. So 75 at the time of broadcast, we are very happy with.
And just for the benefit of everyone who hasn't been in Dave's home today, he did light a firework in his living room to celebrate.
Yes, we had an indoor firework display of one firework that was left over from my daughter's birthday party to celebrate 75. But it's not good enough. We want 150 next week. So you need to share this video and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Rumour has it that David will give a free kiss on the lips to one of those 150 viewers or listeners if it happens.
No, however, if we do get to world's 150 viewers, then we may have a competition ready for our loyal fan base. Also, we are now definitely on iTunes because I spent all of Saturday night and Sunday morning trying to get us onto iTunes, and it was a nightmare. But we are now on there, so if you're listening on YouTube, search for us on iTunes, The Hot Potato Show, and you will find us on there where you can subscribe. And I can confirm Apple have put us in the iTunes store under new and noteworthy. Probably more new than noteworthy, but yeah. Nevertheless, we are featured, kind of. If you search by name, if you search by something else, then we're not, but we are on there. I have photographic evidence. Oh, another thing as well, because I was editing this quite late on Saturday, it was the middle of the night actually, I forgot to put the picture of the banana in when I said, here's a picture of a banana on YouTube. So here is the picture of the banana right now. Look at it. It's yellow and long and fruity. It's full of potassium, Craig. It is full of potassium, and you, being the health freak that you are, you should appreciate a good banana.
I do. I love a good banana.
Do you appreciate the finenesses of a good banana, Craig?
I do. A banana is one of the finest fruits around.
I wouldn't go that far. There's about 15 other fruits I could name that are better than a banana.
Oh, banana's up there.
No,
how many fruits have created a superhero? Banana Man. Name any other.
Steve Jobs.
Not a superhero.
He was a superhero to many. R.I.P. Steve
Great.
Jobs. I can't think of any others. Apple Man.
No.
Keenan and Kel. Orange soda, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm grasping at stuff.
I'm sure there is some. If anyone knows any, please advise us and send us a message to let us know.
I hate the stringy things you get off
Oh,
bananas.
cheese string.
No. When you're peeling the banana and you're sort of peeling it and then you get them stringy bits.
It tastes horrible, don't they?
I don't like it. It. But with me going back into training on my bike and stuff, I need to start stocking up on bananas.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, we've been distracted, but this is what the show's all about. Me and Craig just talking about whatever comes into our head.
Yep.
So, just before we begin, just to remind everyone, because we had very little, we had some feedback and it was good, but we've not heard a lot from our listeners. So, get in touch with us on Twitter. We are at Hot Potato Show. That is at Hot Potato Show. You know how to use Twitter. My personal Twitter is at JHF2004. Craig has not made his. The one thing he had to do during the week, well, I've done everything else and he's not done it. But he will have one. I'm going to make him do one after we've recorded. So I'll put it in the comments. Facebook, www.facebook.com/The Hot Potato Show, all one word, or you can search for it. you can email us, thehotpotatoshow@gmail.com. YouTube, if you're listening on YouTube, then we have iTunes, The Hot Potato Show, search for it. And if you're on iTunes, we have pictures on the YouTube version, which is also, search for the channel, The Hot Potato Show. So yes, you can get in touch with us. We will respond. We will use your comments in the show. So please get in touch. So we turn to our first story of the week, which is, obviously there can only be one story, and that is the fluctuation in the prices of corned beef in the current market. No, only joking. In all seriousness, we're going to talk about weed smoking and weed addiction in the UK, and it's a worldwide problem. I'm going to let Craig do the background to this, because he has been doing the research on this one. But I think what we're talking about is the rise of addiction to marijuana being reported in the UK. Craig?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a rise of addiction. I'd just say it's more awareness of what's going on, really. But allegedly, cannabis is the most commonly used drug in the UK. Surprise, surprise. I think we've all known someone who's probably smoked a bit of marijuana, cannabis, weed.
New Lander.
Yeah, Landy smoked it, as we all know. Private joke there again for everyone who doesn't have a clue what we're on about.
If anyone can work out who knew Peter Landy is, then there'll be a prize.
Yeah, but anyway, so we thought we'd talk about it because it's a big issue. We all know someone, a friend of a friend who maybe has smoked it. Maybe some people who are listening know someone who's got genuinely addicted to it. It has affected their lives. So basically now we're just going to talk about the pros and cons of it. Possibly should it be legal or not? So I'm going to fire that question at David, actually. Should cannabis be legal?
I will answer that in 1 second. First, I just want to point out to the listeners that you've just been referring to a set of notes while doing that intro, and there was literally none of that was written on the notes. The notes you've got in front of you is just a running order, and that's it, and you were looking at them notes like you were reading off them when you weren't. I thought it was pretty funny.
It helps me think.
Yeah, you're just reading off imaginary notes.
I was improvising.
Okay. Should weed be legal? No. No, it should not.
Why?
Because, well, based on the fact that everyone's getting addicted to it and looking for help, that tells you it's a bad thing for starters. But it should be illegal because it's a dangerous drug. It's a hallucinogenic. It's a nasty smelling drug, which is even worse. Cocaine's classed higher, yeah, but it doesn't make the smell, although everyone sniffs it. It's. I'm going to move on to that smelling thing in a minute, but I do think it should be illegal. It should definitely be illegal, and it is illegal.
Do you think alcohol should be illegal?
I'm pretty much a teetotaler, except for when I go out with you. So
I am not an alcoholic, for everyone who's listening.
So I'll say no. Yeah, and I know what argument you're going to throw back at me. No, they're both just as addictive.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not actually pro cannabis. But imagine there's a lot of people out there who say it's no more harmful than a few pints of beer is.
Yeah, but it is.
In what way? What are your facts? Where's the evidence?
In my evidence folder. No. At the end of the day, there's not enough studies been done into it, I don't think, for us to make judgments based on that.
Okay, yeah.
But what I would say is the studies that have been done have all come back and said, other than in a few select cases, it does more harm than good. If you've got like a really terrible disease like cancer and it does have its pain-killing qualities, then yeah.
So, do you think that it should be made available on prescription?
I believe it is. Isn't it? In the UK?
Oh, I don't think it was yet. I know it was in certain states in America.
I thought there was just a small sort of if they have it in hospital.
Oh, I'm not too
sure.
I
might be wrong.
We'll have to double check that after the show.
Yes, I think there is some medicinal program in the UK for MS sufferers and stuff. But if there isn't, then yeah, I think there should be. But that system then becomes open to abuse. It's got to be in the severest of cases, because otherwise you get like in the South Park episode with Randy bouncing around on his balls.
Okay. So, say for example, at the moment, obviously an illegal drug. There's a lot of illegal drugs out there. People don't care that it's illegal. We go out and buy it, yeah? Now, at the minute, every time when someone goes and buys cannabis, where's that money going to?
A drug dealer.
Exactly. It's going to be going to gangs, buying firearms. It's not helping the streets whatsoever. It's making them quite a dangerous place. It's funding crime, isn't it? If cannabis was made legal, it could be taxed.
Yeah, but you're still not going to stop the money going to illegal things, because what will happen then is you will have the illegal sellers. You'll just have what you have with tobacco now, where you have people selling knockoff fags. You'll still have people growing cannabis in there.
But you'll still take a big cut out of the illegal side of it.
I don't think you would. They'd carry on. They just wouldn't pay tax. All you'd get is a few select companies that will mass produce it and sell it.
But if you think, if you could just go into, for example, Tesco, right, and just go up to the counter, oh yeah, can I have a 10 bag please, right? You know exactly what you're getting. If you go to a drug dealer on the street, you don't 100% know what the quality of that product is. Whereas if you went to a main store, you'd be guaranteed of a certain level of quality.
That doesn't mean it's right to sell it legally just because you're guaranteed quality assurance.
No. I'm just saying theoretically. Like I said, I am anti-cannabis. Never smoked it before in my life. But
I should just clear up now, actually.
The argument for people who do think it's
just to clear this up, just to give some more background to this, so we're being as impartial as possible. Craig has never smoked this. I have smoked it on a few occasions. I will be open and honest about that. I didn't like it. For me, it's a horrible drug that just makes you sick.
Is that how you describe the feeling of having it? Just feeling sick?
Yeah, it just made me feel sick, like I was about to vomit. And then occasionally I did. I remember at one point, actually, because there's a lot of peer pressure. There was a lot of peer pressure around the social circle I was hanging out with.
Oh, so let your friends do it?
Yeah, and it was one of them. If you didn't do it, then it's a wuss.
Yeah,
but I did take my revenge, because one day Landy pretty much twisted my arm. I know when I say twist the arm, people will be out there saying, "Oh, well, you still could have said no."
He persuaded you.
Yeah, persuaded me, and it was really nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And we went out in the car, and I vomited all over his car.
Oh, I hated that then, didn't I?
I managed to get my head out the window. I did it on the outside of the car, but he was very pissed off. He got in one. You know them moods he gets in when he gets beaten.
Yeah.
On a game.
Yeah.
And it gets really nasty.
Well,
like that.
Let's not focus too much on Landy. No one has a clue who he is, so.
No, but I thought it was a good story. But yeah, for me, I hate weed. So, mainly because as well the area I live in, you may have noticed this, but when you drive onto the estate,
I did actually smell it on my way up.
You do always get the smell just coming into the estate in the open air, but in this building in particular, we smell it a lot. The hallways stink of it. Our neighbours are always smoking it, and you can smell it. It's
flats. Like a bit of a. Oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a bit of a sweet mouldy smell.
It just stinks to me, and even the smell makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
So when you're trapped in your own home and it's coming from neighbours and you're still smelling it, and it's really pungent stuff, then it knocks you sick, and there's nothing worse than feeling that in your own home.
I always wonder if, when you're actually smelling it, if you are actually breathing in some of the cannabis. I genuinely don't know.
I'd imagine if you can smell it, you must be breathing in some of it. But
which is pretty worrying. You're doing drugs when you don't want to do it.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I've complained to the Housing Association and I've complained to the police, and their attitude just seems to be there's enough of it. There's too much of it going on. There's nothing we can do. And I think that is a major problem in society now. Even though it's a Class B drug, which is the second highest level of drug illegality that there can be, it's so heavily promoted in the media. You look at all the films now.
Oh, it's glorified, isn't it?
It's glorified. Pretty much every Seth Rogen film. I love Seth Rogen. I think he's a really funny guy. Every film he's in, he just gets stoned.
Oh, it was in that one, wasn't it? Bad Neighbours.
Yeah. No, I've not seen that yet. I want to see that.
Just ruined it.
Don't spoilers.
It's heavy in that.
Every film, he's smoking it, and a lot of the comedy films coming out of Hollywood now, it's glorified. Now in California there is a certain legality to it, and in certain states there's a certain legality to it, and I think that might be why. But it is just so glorified now, even on TV as well, like Skins.
Yeah.
Not that I've watched that much of Skins. I never really got into it.
I think I watched one episode.
But it was all over that. It's all over all the TV.
Yeah.
And it's just with it being. Although actually there is one case where I'll allow it. Did you ever see Johnny Vegas in Ideal?
No.
If anyone hasn't watched that, it is on Amazon Prime Video. So if you have Amazon Prime Video,
Other video streaming services are available.
yeah, but they're not as good. If you've not got Amazon Prime, by the way, get it, and get it with the delivery option, because you do save a lot of money. Amazon, I want a cutback now after all this promo. But yeah, ideal. If you've not seen it, get it on DVD, watch it on Amazon, whatever. But it was a really funny show. But but going back to the original point, it is very much glorified in the media, and I think that's the problem. You show it all in the media, and everyone thinks, oh, it's okay. It's in the media. I mean, it's like smoking. Take smoking for an example now. Smoking is so outcast, rightly so. I mean, I smoke, and I am actually planning to quit, and I'm going to tie it in with this show. I'm going to quit with the listeners.
See, I think, traditional smoking's been outcast, but now it's all about these e-cigs. I've seen so many people with like these bubblegum flavoured. What I see is still cigarettes.
I'll come on to that in a second. Let me just finish my point. I was going to say, you don't see hardly anyone on TV smoking a cigarette now. Back 10, 15 years ago.
Are they allowed to now?
I think there's Ofcom or whoever it is that regulates broadcasting. They put a stop on it, especially pre-Watershed. But back in the day, you'd always see it in dramas and stuff like that.
Yeah, they'd all be in the pub, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and in films and stuff like that. You don't get it as much now. Whereas there's probably more weed smoking on the TV than there probably is normal cigarettes now.
Has James Bond ever smoked? I think he has, hasn't he? When it was Sean Connery.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Modern day Daniel Craig wouldn't.
No, he won't smoke.
It's another debate for another day. Favourite James Bond. I was going to go there. I'm not going to. I've got to ask you.
Love you, Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan?
Oh, not Piers Morgan.
No, we do not love Piers Morgan.
What's he called? Other one?
Pierce Brosnan, you
Piers
idiots.
Brosnan, that's it. Piers Brosnan. I've not heard from him for years. That's why I forgot his name.
You've not heard from him in years? He was in regular contact with you before then.
Yeah. Used to be bros.
Can you get him on the show?
Yeah, give him a call.
Okay, well, we'll test this theory. If Pierce Brosnan is not on this podcast next week, then I will hold you personally responsible.
Well, we'll have to discuss James Bond.
Yeah, we'll discuss it. If you get Pierce
I'll
Brosnan, I'll discuss anything.
I'll get him on.
Just not that really bad Greek wedding thing he did.
Sorry, Piers Morgan. We don't want you, mate.
Yeah, Piers Morgan can go fuck himself. He didn't rise to what I said last week. We don't want Piers Morgan. Anyway, he definitely was never James Bond.
Yes.
Trying to pull this back onto topic, you were talking about e-cigs.
Yes.
What about them? Infuriates you?
You said pulling it back onto topic. Now we're not talking about cannabis. It is kind of at the side.
I think we've just generally thrown this in as a smoking bundle. Yeah. Like, for instance, that new advert that's on for the Stop Smoking, which I actually can't watch because it's really graphic.
Oh, with the fat like mutating inside the
yeah. But it's on TV when Lily's watching TV.
It's good though, because it puts you off.
It's good because it puts you off. I mean, it doesn't, because I just don't watch it and then go off and have a cig while it's on. But my daughter's there. She shouldn't be watching stuff like that. It's too graphic for her to be watching. Jesus.
Oh no, it's shock culture, isn't it?
Yeah, but not for when 2-year-olds, 1.5-year-olds are still watching telly.
I imagine this advert isn't like halfway through CBeebies. You know what I mean?
CBeebies is on the BBC, Craig. They do not have adverts.
I don't know. I don't watch it, mate.
You must watch BBC One. You must know the BBC's. Have you never noticed that the BBC doesn't have adverts on it?
Yeah. Back in the day, I was just making a point. I don't know what.
It was the wrong point, Craig.
No. I don't know what all these kids' programs are called. All I know is CBeebies, because it used to go, CBeebies.
Yeah, but she doesn't just watch CBeebies, does she? She watches, like,
I don't know,
CB with
I'm not
us.
here.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, though. Right, just e-cigs.
Yes. Right, okay, so with all these flavours like bubblegum, banana split flavour, whatever, I think they're becoming more marketable to kids. So I reckon there's going to be more people picking up and smoking these things. So I reckon the problem hasn't really gone away. It's just redeveloped to something else. For
me, the problem with e-cigs is they've not been tested enough, and they're very, very, very. They're in the knockoff culture.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, you can get them on markets, and these guys have just bought them off the back of a truck, or they bought it. Well, I'm not going to say they bought it off the back of a truck, but they bought it from a wholesaler, and it's probably come from China, and it's not, the liquids aren't tested properly. It's so highly unregulated and untested
Yeah.
that I wouldn't use it. I tried to use one, and all it did was make me want a cigarette, which is not the desired reaction. But even then, the more I looked into it, it was like, well, no one's regulating it. It's not been tested enough. It's anyone can sell it. You don't have to have a license to sell it like you do with cigarettes.
Yeah.
You've got them all over these markets, and I mean, I know people that have bought them off markets, and the atomizer, the glass bit at the top's just smashed.
Really?
Just blown up, yeah, because
Wow.
you just buy it, they're making them for like 50p in China, exporting them over here, and you sell them on the
Pork order.
market for like £8, and the liquids, God knows what's in them.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the flavours? Do you agree that you should be able to get these mad flavours like bubblegum and
I
whatever
just don't think you should be able to get them full stop, but just until it's regulated, until you've got to have a license to sell them, and until thorough testing's been done. Because it'll just be the cigarette thing all over again. Look at adverts 60 years ago when you had all the famous names advertising cigarettes on TV saying,
Yeah.
oh yes, quite, my doctor said smoke 10 a day and it will make me Superman. Back in them days, it was given as a health benefit. This is what e-cigs is now. It's not technically, because a lot of like the medical people are saying don't use it as a quitting aid and stuff like that. But it is generally in culture accepted that if you can use e-cigs to get off the dirty tobacco, clean e-cigs.
Yeah.
But then they're not clean when no one. In about 20 years' time, I could see them saying, there was actually more carcinogens in the e-cigs than there were in tobacco. But we didn't test it.
It can't be healthy for you because you're still inhaling unnatural chemicals, aren't you?
Well, they advertise it as water vapour. Whether it is or not, I mean, I'm sure it is, and I don't know the exact science behind them. All I know is I don't think anyone knows the exact science behind them because they've not been tested properly.
It just had a flashback as well. I believe you were actually behind quite a successful anti-smoking poster when you were around 15, was it? A French one.
What?
When we were in high school, I remember you made an anti-smoking poster.
Did I?
Yes, and there was a quote in it saying, "I miss my lung bob," if you remember. The two cowboys riding off into the sunset.
I don't remember that at all.
It ended up on the wall.
Did it?
Like, yeah. Like down near where all the language corridors were.
I don't remember.
We did it in Mr. Child's class.
Did we?
Yep.
Wow. I can't remember. That was what? 11 years ago?
11
12?
years ago, yeah.
At least 11 years ago?
Yes, we're very old.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, no, fair.
But if I did, then I did. It was quite ironic that about a year and a half later I started smoking, so there you go.
Yes.
Okay, well, that was a interesting debate. So, weed, no. E-cigs, no. Tobacco, no. Smoking, no. I think is the summary of that. There's going to be a lot of people out there, though, that agree. Send us your views via the comments and Twitter and Facebook and the email. Do you think weed should be legalised? Do you think, is weed good? Have you had a problem with marijuana addiction before? We should actually point, I'll just say, when I was Googling to get a bit of background on this story, one of the first hits on Google was for Marijuana Anonymous.
Really?
Yeah. So
But I wonder if they've actually paid to have a sponsored link.
No, it wasn't.
Popular.
I checked, it wasn't sponsored.
Right.
So, yeah, it was quite interesting that now you've got another Alcoholics Anonymous, etc., etc.
Yeah,
so if you
yeah.
have got problems
That's
with marijuana addiction, don't contact us because we're not doctors. Or do contact us and tell us your story. But Marijuana Anonymous, or see your GP, or NHS professional. So we're going to move on from that clusterfuck of a opening segment where nothing was controlled. I got rid of all my notes for this one because I was doing too much background, and now I don't think we've done enough.
No, I think we did enough. It was brief.
It's only the second episode. We're still finding our feet. For all them critics out there.
Well, look, you know what they say, don't you? First for worst, second for best. So we've obviously got to be the best show, obviously.
Whatever.
Saying says so.
We
Yeah.
might as well just stop here then. Only do 2 episodes.
Well, the other ones might be good, but just not quite as good as this one.
I highly doubt that this is going to be the best one. We'll move on then. So the second story we're going to cover tonight is the minimum wage naming and shaming by Revenue and Customs. It turns out that a lot of employers aren't paying the legally mandated minimum wage.
What?
Yes. Not to be confused with the living wage, which is what people think we should all be getting paid. The minimum wage is a legal law, not an illegal law, a legal law that says you must be paid this much. Although I don't know what it currently is. I think it's like £6 if you're over 21. So on this list, that Revenue, or to give it its exact name, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, which will be quite interesting, as I'll come to in a minute, have named and shamed a lot of companies who have not been paying the legal minimum wage. A lot of them were just independent businesses and small businesses, but 2 national companies came to the front of this list, and that was H&M, who were named and shamed by HMRC, and Welcome Break, the popular service.
Oh, the service station.
Yes. Yeah. Other services are available.
What the hell? They charge an absolute fortune for the food that you buy from there as well. You think we could at least pay the staff minimum wage?
Yeah. So H&M and Welcome Break and another list, but these were the national companies. All the rest were like H.J. Thompson and Son Builders and stuff like that. We'll concentrate on the national ones. So H&M and Welcome Break were not paying their employees the minimum wage. Staff on average were owed over £2,000 each. £2,000. Which brings the first question, Craig. How the hell does someone not notice £2,000 missing from the pay packet?
I mean, it's not come out if these people knew they were being paid less than minimum wage, or if they didn't, you know.
They must have known, though. They must have surely... Well, they clearly didn't, otherwise they would have complained. But what I'm saying is, if it was wrong on your payslip, I mean, who doesn't look at the payslip at the end of the month and got checked to make sure everything's right?
But I'm just thinking, maybe the scenario was that, you know, these companies, H&M, Welcome Break, maybe they were looking at laying people off, and maybe these staff members came together and said, well, hang on, instead of laying one of us off, why don't we all take a pay cut of £1, and then you can afford to keep us all? Surely getting some wage is better than getting no wage.
From the background I've read, the employees weren't aware.
Really?
Yeah, which means they're all stupid.
Oh, they deserve to be paid less than minimum wage, don't they? They can't understand it.
Then again, working at Welcome Break... all I'm saying is you would notice £2,000 missing from your paycheck, even if it's only in dribs and drabs. You must know when you signed up for that job how much your hourly rate is, so you must know how many hours you've worked, so you must know on your paycheck at the end of the month whether you're getting the right amount. And even if your paycheck says the right amount, when it's going into your bank account, if the 2 numbers don't add up, I think you should be talking to your boss. So how they've not done that, I don't know. But nevertheless, both companies have still not. They've broken the law. And it's a really big law. It's one that was introduced so everyone got a decent wage, because back before the minimum wage, everyone was getting paid like £1 an hour and stuff like that.
Have they been fined for these companies?
Yes, H&M were fined £174,000, which is not a lot for a big national fashion chain.
Nothing at all.
And obviously they've got to pay all the employees what they owe them. So good news is they're getting a big chunk £2,000 check each.
Yeah.
Although again, I don't think they deserve it if they didn't realise they weren't getting paid the right thing to begin with. It's really bad though when 2 major national companies can get away with not paying the employees the right amount of money.
Yeah, it is surprising.
I think both companies have said that it was admin errors. Our time clocking service went haywire, and unfortunately the computers paid the wrong wage.
What a nice convenience, eh?
Well, this is the thing. You would imagine that if the time wage system was really broken and it was paying out more than it should have done, they would have clocked that in a minute and shut it right down and told all the employees, hey, you owe us £200 each.
Yeah.
But they was, with it going the other way around, they
kept that quiet then, didn't they?
Yeah, they kept that quiet. I would have imagined that they knew what they were doing, because they will have noticed it the other way. You're not telling me that H&M and Welcome Break, who both obviously have a lot of employees in the UK, didn't notice the money in their admin HR departments, didn't notice that money wasn't going where it should have gone.
Yeah, definitely. At some point, somebody would have noticed what was going on, and they just would have turned a blind eye to it and said, well, we can keep this money, eh?
Like I said, how even one? Because surely one of the employees would notice and then go, have you checked your pay packet? It's not right. How has so many employees not noticed?
Unless they were immigrants from another country and they weren't quite aware of the minimum wage law, perhaps. That's all I can think of, really.
Yeah, but when you sign your
Without
contract,
insulting people, anyway.
when you sign your contract, you know how much you're going to get paid.
Yeah, you know how much you're going to get paid, but what if that contract said it was less than minimum wage? Like we said, it was £5 something, and he just signed it.
Then
That might have been what it was.
I genuinely think that these were just like errors in air quotations. Yeah, I don't know. If your contract says below minimum wage and you've not researched what the minimum wage should be, then you're a fool. But then it would be even worse of a crime because these companies are signing people up to less than minimum wage contracts, and that really is against the law. It all ties in though with 0-hour contracts that started coming out as well. I abhor 0-hour contracts.
They work really well for some people, though.
Well, this is the conservative justification for him. This is what Tory boy says, that, oh, well, this works perfectly well for some people. 99% of the people, it doesn't work for.
Don't take one out, then. Don't work in a 0-hour contract.
But the problem is, all these major national retailers are now jumping on board and going, oh, this is legal, we'll do this for everyone.
And you got people who are like, trying to apply for a full job, just looking at these 0-hour contracts coming up, just going, it's happening again!
Yeah, exactly. It works for one person, but 9 other people are getting 0-hour contracts, and they're like, hang on a second, oh yeah, because I've been employed on a 0-hour contract.
Really?
And and it was god awful, because some weeks they were just like, oh, we've got no work for you whatsoever, and I wasn't earning a paycheck.
Yeah.
Because they can say that, and then other weeks they can go, oh, you're working 50 hours this week.
But having an irregular income has got to be better than no income, right?
Yeah, but it's not regular income, is it? Because
No, irregular. Irregular, yes.
What? If you're on a 0-hour contract, you're not getting a regular income. Because one week your employer might just go, oh, well, you're not working.
Some income is better than no income. You will get some over the course of that month.
Not when you've got a family to feed and rent to pay and you don't know how much you're going to get paid on a monthly basis.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, you will still get some money coming in. It's got to be better than no money. Surely.
Yeah, but you're getting no money some weeks. Some weeks you're getting no money because they're saying, oh, we haven't got any hours.
Yeah, but if you didn't have that 0-hour contract, it'd be no money every single week, not just some weeks.
Yeah, but even the dole gives you a regular income.
Well, you'd have to wait.
You're guaranteed that money every week, whereas with a 0-hour contract, you're not even guaranteed money. And if the company really goes tits up, they could say, oh, we're going to lay some staff off for a bit. 0-hour contract people are not working for the next month. Well, how are you going to fill a month worth of work at short notice?
Well, you wouldn't get a 0-hour contract if you were fully reliant on it to make a living, weren't you? I mean,
but this is the problem. A lot of people are getting forced into these contracts now because all these national companies are using them as their bog standard, will issue it to everyone contracts. And the job centres who want to push people back into work, rightly push people back into work, are saying, oh, you've got to take a 0-hour contract. So how's that fair? It's not fair. At the end of the day, if someone needs to work part-time, sign them to a part-time contract. If someone really needs flexibility of not working some weeks, yeah, offer them as an option, a 0-hour contract. But for the most part, they should still all be offering as standard either a full-time contract or a part-time contract with a contract that says you can get minimum 40 hours a week. Yeah. You can get minimum 20 hours a week. Because it's a basic employee right. And it's being deteriorated by multinationals and by the government who are letting it happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. What you've just said is really good for the people, but I think what is happening, it's capitalism in progress.
How is it capitalism in progress?
This is more beneficial to these big companies for having to pay out less wages because they're not having as much staff in, they're not having staff waiting around doing nothing like that.
Yeah, but this is why the minimum wage was introduced. The minimum wage is there so employers, national companies, can't take the mick out of the workers. At the end of the day, without the workers, the multinational doesn't exist. Yeah.
But at the minute, obviously, because there's no law against saying not having 0-hour contracts, these big companies
there needs
are going
to
do
be.
it. Yeah, I agree. But these big companies are going to do that.
So you agree that there should be a law outlawing 0-hour contracts?
Yep, I've not said for a good thing. All I said was but for some people, they're beneficial.
Okay. But generally, if a law came up saying we are going to outlaw 0-hour contracts, you'd be up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Craig voting Labour in the next general election, folks.
No.
Craig would never do that.
Voting for the Monster Raven Looney Party, obviously.
Obviously.
I've seen Bez is running for like an MP or something at Salford.
Yeah. He'll probably get in as well, knowing the people of
Yeah.
Salford. I did live there for a while, so I can speak openly.
So almost as bad as David Gianola trying to get me FIFA presidency.
Jesus, I don't want to be better than Seb
The
Blatter.
funny thing is, Paddy Power are giving him 250,000 to try and go for it, so it's obviously a publicity stunt.
Yeah. And as everyone knows with Paddy Power publicity stunts, everyone gets really wound up about them, like when they did that thing for the World Cup where they burnt England, they're going to win in the Amazon, and everyone's like, oh my god, they've burnt down half of the Amazon, how could they have done this? Yeah, it was just CGI, guys.
Yeah.
You still shouldn't have pretended to do it, the Amazon is a precious resource, you damn bookmakers.
You killed our virtual monkeys!
Where will the monkey live now? You have taken away his tree. Other bookmakers are available, including one I used to work for. I'm not going to mention their name because they are crap. So with all this talk of politics and minimum wages and who's voting for who, we should move on to our next topic. And that is, this week, David Cameron has announced that he will withdraw from the TV debates that were so popular in the 2010 election, unless the Green Party is involved in the debates. He says that UKIP, being a marginal party, in air quotations here again, are allowed in. The Green Party should be too. Craig, should the Green Party be in?
No,
Why?
because they have no realistic hope of winning the next general election.
No, they should. They don't. But do UKIP?
Yes, I think we do. I think
Not
UKIP,
of winning.
I think of having a major impact. We could form a coalition with someone. I feel
Yeah.
UKIP are a lot of people's protest vote, or they will be this year anyway.
I don't think they are.
Do you know?
I don't think they're a protest vote anymore.
I think UKIP has become a place for a lot of the Tory defectors, especially.
I think it's just become a place for a lot of people who are sick of Europe, are sick of the European project, of Europe dictating half of our laws that take place in the UK and then us just being powerless to run our own country, and of the free movement that comes with being an EU member.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? If you look at the United States of America, from state to state, you have all these different laws, you know, where we have their own rulings.
Yeah.
Yet in the European Union, we all seem to be ruled by what someone said in Brussels.
This is the thing though, EU, the European Union, the European Council, Parliament, whatever, they idolise the US format. They want Europe to be the United States of Europe. They want that federal hub with the different states
Yeah.
having certain, oh yes, you can change this, but nationally, internationally, we must declare this. And it's wrong. For centuries, Europe's been made up of hundreds of nations. Maybe not
Yeah.
hundreds, but you get my point. The EU project is starting to fall apart. And UKIP is getting that from the general public. Because on the street, a lot of people are annoyed with the Europe projects. They're annoyed at the fact that we have the Abu Hamza case where the European Court of Human Rights tied things up for ages,
Yep.
and that they can then like give prisoners the right to vote and just dictate national policies that we should be deciding at home. What works for England doesn't necessarily work for France, but vice versa.
But it's the immigration that's a big issue for people as well, isn't it?
It is. I wanted to try and avoid that as a centrepiece, but you're right. Immigration is another thing, and I think a lot of votes from the BNP for the people that were very anti-immigration have now gone to UKIP because everyone's saying, "Oh well, they are actually mainstream. They might actually have a chance."
So, are you saying that? Well, if probably said, yeah. Would you consider the BNP to be a racist party?
Yes.
So, are you saying now that UKIP has possibly got the support of a racist vote?
Yeah. Of course
Yeah.
they have. They've got racists in the
So,
party. When
could
one of your
happen.
head general, like one of your leaders, is coming out and saying that people come from Umbongo Bongo land, then yeah, that's pretty racist.
Yeah. So, would you say that's one of the prime reasons as to why UKIP have kind of come into prominence of late?
I wouldn't say it's the prime reason. I would say it's one of the reasons. I'd say it's a contributing factor, but it's many, many things merged into one. But just to drag this back to the debates, this is the problem, like you said. A lot of the Tory defectors are going to UKIP.
Yeah.
And that's why David Cameron's worried about having them in the debate, because they'll directly be tackling him.
But
So the reason he wants the Green Party in isn't because they're a viable alternative to any of the other parties. It's just that the Green Party generally tend to attack the left, which will be Labour. So what he wants to do is balance it out by going, oh, well, if I'm going to have UKIP coming at me and hitting my right flank, then I want the Green Party in to attack Labour's left flank.
Yeah. Okay, so say, in a few months' time, when the general elections are happening, if somehow UKIP win, okay, they have a majority, we get in Nigel Farage as a Prime Minister.
That's never, ever
No.
going to happen.
No, all theoretical. Do you think a lot of things would actually change?
Yeah.
Really?
If he's got the majority in Parliament, then he'll have us straight out of the EU.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be such a quick process to do.
It would. All you've got to do is propose a vote in the House of Parliament and send Europe a letter saying, bye-bye. Cheerio, it was fun while it lasted, folks. We liked it when there was 5 of us dictating what happened. Now there's hundreds of us. No, thank you.
But anyway, I just look across to... Sorry to keep referencing it, but the United States of America, I believe Barack Obama's... What was his slogan when he was trying to get into power now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it was like, can we change? And it was like, yes, we can. And everyone's complaining over there, saying,
builder,
well, hang on.
can we fix it? Barack Obama. Yes, we can.
Yeah, we're all over there saying, well, hang on a minute. Nothing's changed. Or very little has. It's taking...
The problem is
to change anything.
The problem is President Obama has found the general flaw in the US format, in that it doesn't matter how many votes you win by president. If you've not got the Congress and the Senate on your side, then you're not going to get anything done. And he's going to find this in his last term. The last term of a president is where you find your legacy. It's where you stake your place in history. And he just will not be able to do that. Now there's a Republican Congress.
Yeah.
And is it a Republican Senate? I think it is. Maybe. And he's going to spend the next 6 months, 12 months, however long it is now, vetoing everything that comes out of that place. So unfortunately, he's going to get come unstuck. But you reference this. This is another interesting thing, because the UK's becoming the United States. With all the devolution of power, you're quickly going to have... I mean, we've already got it. Laws are different. The drink driving limit that's changed just before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's different in Scotland than it is now in England. We're getting that sort of situation now where we've got a federal sort of centrepiece in Westminster with individual states making certain decisions for themselves.
Yep.
The problem is, if you include the Green Party and UKIP, then it's just going to get out of control. You're going to have the SNP sitting there and going, oh well, you know, we're quite a large party for 1/4 of the country, so we should be in. And then you're going to have God knows who else in as well. I mean, literally, once you let the Green Party in, you're opening the doors to anyone, to any party who will then have a legitimate gripe and say, oh yeah, well, we should be in because they're in. And then you've got 12 people on stage. And the thing is, fundamentally, I like the TV debates because we've needed them for a long time. It works so well in America. It gets people eyes on the election. You get to know the leaders.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's compared too much to America, and it can't be, because what you've got to remember is in America, when they have their debates, it's presidential, and they're voting for that person. Not necessarily for the party, they're voting for the person. Whereas in our system, we don't vote. When we go to the polling booth, we're not voting for who we want to be Prime Minister. All we're doing is electing who we want to be our local Member of Parliament. So when you have that debate, we're not voting for David Cameron, we're not voting for Ed Miliband, or we're not supposed to be, everyone does, but we're not supposed to be. All we're supposed to be concentrating on is who we want our local MP to be, and then the accumulation decides the Prime Minister. So in one respect it's bad because it confuses the issue, but it is generally good. What I don't like is David Cameron agreeing to a format and then going back on it.
Yeah. Why do you think he has done that? What's his thinking? What's his reasoning?
Because he's scared of UKIP.
So what he thinks, if the Green Party's there, they're going to stick up for David Cameron?
No, what he's hoping is that by saying this, that Labour will go, oh, we're going to have to kick UKIP out then. That's what he wants. The last thing he wants to do is be on stage with Nigel Farage, because Nigel Farage is going to make him look like a twonk. He just is. It's inevitable. David Cameron was off all these debates in 2010 when it was Gordon Brown on the hot seat, because he was always going to make Gordon Brown look like a idiot. Now he's the defending champ. It's like in boxing. You'll take on the hard fight to get the title, but then when you've got the title, you want to pick the easiest fights you possibly can. David Cameron is the Floyd Money Mayweather of UK politics.
I think what would be a good match-up in the politics world would be our friend Boris in London against Nigel Farage. That would be good.
Yeah, I think that...
I'd like to see it happen. It may well happen one day.
It will if the Conservatives lose this general election, it might happen, because I think David Cameron will get eaten up by his own party.
Yeah.
I think he'll get the ripped up. I think whoever loses, in fact, I'll do another call out here. Like I said, that Ched Evans was going to play in the Career League. I'm going to say this now, that pretty much anyone except for the winning parties out of the general election, there'll be leadership challenges pretty much the next day, and the leaderships are all going to change. If Nick Clegg loses as much as he has done in the local elections, Nick Clegg will be gone straight away. Same for Ed Miliband.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's already been a lot of talk about Ed Miliband going before, wasn't there?
I should point out, do I think Ed Miliband should be the leader of the party? No, I don't. But I didn't get the chance to vote on that. So
I was honestly thinking David Miliband was going to get it, to be honest.
This is the thing. This is why I don't like proportional representation, or AV, or however you want to call it.
I have noticed that representation is one of your least favourite civics on the game Civilization.
Yes, and the reason I don't like AV and stuff like that as a voting method is David Miliband in that leadership election was leading the first two rounds. So he was the leading candidate. By the time they got to like the third or fourth ballot, by then it was who's your fourth choice, and then it was Ed Miliband, and so he got through being the fourth choice of some people at the end. David Miliband was leading every other way. If it had just been a straight whoever gets the most votes wins, David Miliband would have been the leader.
Yeah.
And David Cameron would have been shitting himself now.
Yep, he's great. Well, he is already, isn't he?
Yeah, I also find it weird. Have you seen the structure for the debates? It's not like it was last year, where you just had the three leaders going at it for three debates.
No, what is it?
One debate is the Conservatives, Labour, the Lib Dems, and UKIP. One debate is the Conservatives, Labour, and the Lib Dems, and one debate is just Conservative versus Labour.
Ah.
Which I don't like the last one, because basically you're saying the three party system is dead.
Yeah.
We're down to two. We're down to two now, folks. One is out.
Whittled out for week one.
Yeah. I think I liked the system of last time. In fact, if I was planning these debates, I mean, there's no chance we're going to get the leaders on to come on our podcast to have the fourth debate. But if I was going to do it, I would have Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem, UKIP, all three.
Yeah. With these debates, do we not already kind of see it every week on Prime Minister's questions?
No.
A lot of it not just going to be repetition?
No, because they're talking about very select things that MPs are like throwing local questions like, I have had a letter from our local hospital. Prime Minister, would you care to comment as to why they've been robbed of £5 million? It's stuff like that, and Ed and David Cameron just get at it. Whereas the debates, it's a structured thing about what we would do if we were elected. It's all about the manifesto, whereas in Prime Minister's questions, it's about what the government are doing at the time.
Oh, so I believe we are due a 50% pay rise again this year.
Yeah.
Yes. House of Commons is full to the brim.
Yeah. So that's the structure as it is at the moment, Craig. If you were setting up the TV debates, what would you do?
If I was doing the TV TV debates, I would have Labour, Conservatives, Lib Dems, and UKIP just all going at it.
So you could have just said, I agree with David. Haha, see what I did there?
Yes.
Yes. I agree with Nick. Except no one agrees with Nick anymore. And to be perfectly honest, I could honestly see the Lib Dems losing nearly all of their seats.
Yeah.
In fact, I could see Nick Clegg losing his seat.
Yeah. Sheffield, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what his majority is there, but I could see him losing his seat there.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I am a major political geek. I love politics. I love studying elections. I love studying Parliament. I'm a huge political geek. So with the general election coming up in a few months, I am rubbing my chops.
David was once considering running as an MP for a certain party.
Yes. Yes, I was. I would
Isn't
never...
he glad he didn't run for them now?
Yeah, I am. Let's keep that one quiet. So yeah, David Cameron has to take part in these debates, getting back on subjects, because just recently as well, the rest of the parties and the TV broadcasters, basically to set these debates up, all the party leaders and all the broadcasters that are going to have one of these debates got together and agreed the format, and now David Cameron's gone back on it, but all the party leaders that are left and the broadcasters are basically saying, well, if David Cameron doesn't come to these debates, we're just going to leave an empty podium there where he should have stood, and he's going to be made to look a complete dick. So he's got no choice. He's going to take part because...
He can't afford not to.
No, it'd be suicide for him.
If everyone just said to him, oh, we'll just do it without him.
If 3 debates took place and there was just an empty podium with like a name tag saying David Cameron,
yeah,
it would be suicide. It'd be game over.
Yep.
He's going to have to do it. And they're not going to change now they've agreed the rules. They've agreed the rules. You can't go back on it now.
No.
He's, like I said, it's the heavyweight champ trying to pick the fight.
Yeah.
And instead, the commissioning body have come out with a mandatory challenger instead. And these are the mandatory challengers. Yeah. UKIP is the mandatory challenger.
Yep, I agree.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see. I would imagine that it's nothing's going to be said. It'll be really quiet, and then he'll just appear in the debates.
Yeah.
We will do a special episode. I will call it now after each of the debates. Just a quick, 10-15 minute one, just to say what we thought of them. If you are up for that, Greg.
Yeah, I should be up for that, pal.
Because I'd be interested to digest what happened in them debates.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
So I think we'll move on now, Craig.
Okay.
I want to talk about the transfer window.
What transfer window?
What transfer window? The January transfer window for footballing folk.
Oh, for soccer?
Yes, for soccer.
Yes.
We were going to cover this last week, but one, we didn't have enough time, as you saw by the fact that the episode was an hour and 38 minutes, and that was edited down. And 2, because we'd realised not much had happened. Really? Not much has happened since, but a little bit more has happened. I think the headline signing so far has been Wilfred Boney.
Yes.
From Swansea to Manchester City.
Yes.
For 28.5 million.
I think it was 25, possibly rising to 28.5, depending on certain performance things.
It was interesting that the media had it valued at 30, and then they were like, oh, they can't agree a price, and that was 28.5.
Yeah, we always sensationalise it, don't they, the media?
Do you not think Swansea have sold themselves down the river?
I don't know. If Gary Monk managed to get that 25 million to reinvest into players, which isn't going to happen, because Swansea have already said they're using that money to rebuild the infrastructure, basically, improve the stadium, the training ground, certain facilities, which is a good thing. Obviously, if you're a top flight club, you want to have a top flight stadium, you want to have a top flight training ground. Yeah. But Swansea, it's been a really well run club. You know, it wasn't too long ago that we were playing in the old Division 2. Yeah. Now, you know, they've been in the Premier League for a few seasons, for an established Premiership side.
They've had a Europa League run as well, haven't they?
Yeah, so we're not doing too bad.
The thing is, though, surely they would have been better keeping hold of him. Even if who's the manager at Swansea?
Gary Monk.
Yeah, even if Gary Monk had got the 25 million to spend on players, would you have not kept Wilfred Boney in? Even at least till the end of the season.
It depends if he wants to leave. If he wants to leave, and you say no, all of a sudden he's not going to be playing at his best, is he? So he's no longer going to be worth that much money. in that summer, he's going to be worth less money because he's not been performing as well. His value is going to keep decreasing. So if he wants to leave, you've got to let him go.
The thing is, in the summer transfer window, though, because I was hooked to deadline day as usual, and there was loads of interest in him, and his agent came out and said, no, Wilfred will stay at Swansea. He wants to stay here. He wants to help raise the club.
Yeah, but then the champions of England come in for him. You're not going to say no, are you? I mean, I personally think it's a bad career move for him. He's going to be playing second fiddle to Aguero.
Third fiddle.
Why?
I would say that it's Aguero's echo.
Oh, no. Jacko, I've spoken to many City fans. A lot of them don't rate him.
No, a lot of them don't rate him, but he's the starting striker.
I don't think he will be, no.
I don't think Boney get. You
don't spend 25 million on a substitute striker. He will be there.
You do if you set it. How much did they spend on? Oh, what's his name? Jovetic. Is it Jovetic?
Jovetic. I can't remember how much he spent on him.
They spent close to 25 million because he came in as part of 4 players and they came to about 110 million. I think it was close to 25. So I think they do.
Well, I think
Boney will be the next.
They certainly wouldn't have said to Wilfred Boney, sign for us and we'll sit you on the bench.
No, but they never do they? They never say, you're going to be a bench
I think they're playing
warmer.
tomorrow, aren't they? So we'll see if he starts. I will say this now. I think he will start.
Yeah, he'll start just because everyone will want to see him play in a City shirt. But then after that, it'll be 5-6 games on the bench, and then he'll start getting unhappy.
Yeah,
and I reckon he'll move on loan in the summer transfer window.
Yeah, but this is what I was kind of saying. It's a bad career move for him because he is going to end up on the bench.
Yeah.
He's good enough to be the main man somewhere. He should be the main man somewhere, doing what he does best, which is scoring goals.
He should have stayed at Swansea. Made more of a name for himself.
Yeah. But at the same time, he might want to play in the Champions League. But
he's not going to get played if he's not getting played in the Premiership. He's not going to get paid in the Champions League.
He's got more of a chance of playing in the Champions League at Manchester City than he ever had at Swansea. Realistically,
well, only because they're in the competition and Swansea aren't.
Exactly. You're not going to play in it if your team isn't in the competition. He's got a chance.
Oh well, thanks for that lesson 1 of football, Craig. If you're not in the competition, you're not going to play in it. That's obvious.
Got to be in it to win it, mate.
Oh. Let's move on. Other transfers have included Victor Valdez to Manchester United on a free transfer.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the easiest transfer to predict in January. He'd been training with United for a few months, hadn't he?
You say that? I didn't know he'd been. I thought he was still at Barcelona.
Yeah, no. Barcelona released him because he had quite a long injury, and he came to United a couple of months ago just to build up his match fitness. Obviously, it was beneficial to both parties. Victor Valdez could get his match sharpness. Well, there's match sharpness because he's not playing, but he can get himself fit again, get him back into things, and it gave Louis van Gaal a chance to see if he still had it, if he was still capable.
You've pronounced it wrong. It's Louis van Gaal.
Louis van Gaal.
Van Gaal.
How?
Not Gaal.
Gaal. That's how it's spelled.
I don't know that's how it's spelled, but it's not how it's said.
How carry on calling him Van Gaal?
Right. Anyway, carry on, sorry.
Bloody grammar Nazi there.
It's not grammar, you idiot. It's pronunciation.
Pronunciation Nazi, man.
I'm a Nazi either way.
Yes.
Go on, Louis van Gaal.
Louis van Gaal had a chance to see, obviously, if he was still decent or not. Obviously, he's got a wealth of experience. He's one of the most decorated players in the game. It'd be good to have around in the dressing room. Especially David De Gea. He's still only quite a young goalkeeper. Especially in goalkeeping turns. You get some goalkeepers that will play on into the 40s.
Do you not think that this was Louis van Gaal's way of signing a backup first team keeper in case De Gea wants to move in the January transfer window?
I think it's his way of signing a backup first team keeper that he can rely on if De Gea gets injured.
I think Van Gaal's worried that either De Gea will get tempted in January or he won't re-sign, so he's got Valdez ready.
No, Valdez is an old keeper. He's not a long-term solution.
Yeah, he's not a long-term solution, but what I'm saying
is, I've got enough money to go and spend 30 million on a goalkeeper if we wanted to.
He's ideal to have though if De Gea decides to pack up shop and fuck off.
I think he's been brought in to help De Gea more than anything.
He might well have been, but I do think it was in the back of his mind when he signed on the dotted line that De Gea might F off.
Yeah.
Right, I'll just point out that the last time I had a microphone in front of me and I was talking about David De Gea, I was slagging him off on BBC Radio Manchester. And since then, he has turned his life around.
Yes.
So I single-handedly take the assist for David De Gea.
Actually, I think a few months ago when we first met up, I went out for a few pints. I believe he was slagging him off them, and then the next day, he had like a man of a match performance.
I didn't rate him. I do now, but that's the sign of a man when you can stand up and admit I was wrong. I mean, at the time when Van der Sar retired, I thought the best move we could have made was sign Brad Friedel. Still say that now.
Bit too old now, mate.
Yeah, now he is, but 2-3 years ago, he still had a couple of years left in him for us to find even to let
Edgar Davids 2 years ago.
What?
You were saying that about Edgar Davids 2 years ago?
No, I was not. Not Edgar Davids, but Brad Friedel or Buffon.
Buffon.
I think we're talking 3 years ago now when Van der Sar retired.
Yeah,
probably longer, because I just thought De Gea was too young to be first team. And I thought he could have been best still playing in the reserves, getting match football every week, covering like the quieter like League Cup games and stuff, but having a goalkeeping giant in that for the bigger sort of fixtures and for the general season. And I was proven sort of right time and time again when David De Gea was running off his line and getting done in corners and
his first
trying to save it with his feet and getting megged.
Yeah, but the goalkeeping coach, I think it was Eric Steele, I think, who got a lot of the credit for De Gea's improved performances. I think De Gea actually said himself, Eric Steele had worked really hard with him.
Yeah.
Brought him on, and then David Moyes comes in, says, "See you later, Steely lad." In a bit. Shouldn't have done it.
Well, there's many things David Moyes should not have done.
David Moyes, he's in Spain now. David.
He got sent off this week.
I know, so he had to climb over the railings into the crowd.
But then he was pictured eating some of the fans' food.
Yeah, some girl offered him some crisp. But then someone offered him peanuts and he said, no peanuts, thanks.
Were the crisp what's it, do you reckon? Hey, Mozzie, you want to watch it?
Could have been cheese flavoured, definitely.
Oh, lad, yeah, I'll have one of them.
Cheetos.
Oh, Cheetos. Oh, Moise, we miss you. We don't.
I liked him.
I liked him until...
By the way, I don't know if we've already clarified this. We are Manchester United fans. That's why we're talking quite extensively on it.
Yeah.
Sorry for everyone who isn't.
Never mind. Yeah, but I was a fan of his up until the end of his first summer transfer window. Was it summer? Or was it the winter? It was one of the transfer windows where basically...
One when we signed Fellaini, or was it one when we signed Mato?
It was the one where we signed Fellaini, actually, yeah, because it was the last signing of the deadline day, and I held my head in my hands and gone, no, why, God!
I rated him.
No, because all through that summer transfer window, Moyes was like, oh, well, we're going to sign Iniesta. We're going to sign Fabregas, we're going to sign Iniesta, we're going to sign Ronaldo back, we're going to sign Messi, we're going to sign Peter Schmeichel, we're going to sign everyone that is ever...
Was that
rated.
David Moyes' fault, or was it our new? Is it director Ed Woodward?
No, it was David Moyes' fault.
Was it Ed Woodward is the one responsible for negotiating the deals? How do we know?
Yeah, but he can't go negotiating deals until David Moyes goes, oh yeah, I want him.
He might have said it to him because Ed Woodward said he had to go away in urgent business on transfer stands, and then no one came in, so he must have been doing something.
Yeah, but Moyes was just like, oh shit, none of my signs have come off. Who used to play at Everton? And out of the two people he could have picked from Everton, Fellaini or Leighton Baines, why the hell did he not go for Leighton Baines?
Because we needed a midfielder. We
needed a right back more.
Leighton Baines is a left back.
Is there?
Yeah.
We needed a left back as well. Everyone was old. Oh, I'm not good with positions. I used to think Roy Keane was a defender for a sort of period of time.
I remember being in a pub with I was with my mates and their dad because we were underage and we were about 13 and I'm with some lad and he used to crack on. He used to know loads about the football, right? And Jan O'Shea scored a goal for Manchester United and this lad goes, huh? A defender scoring? He didn't think defenders were allowed to score, genuinely.
Oh, John O'Shea, is he still playing? Is he still at Sunderland?
Yes, he's at Sunderland. Him
Good
and Wesley Brown,
good old
aka
John
Wesley
O'Shea.
Snipes.
Sunderland and Southampton, both of them, are the graveyard of Manchester United players.
Why, he's gone to Southampton?
Oh, who went to Southampton? There's been a few, I'm sure there has. I had
I don't know,
Southampton in my head. Oh, I might have had another club in my mind. Was it Sunderland Roy Keane managed?
Yes. Yes, he did manage him. He got him promoted into the Premiership.
Sunderland is definitely the graveyard of Man United players. There is
Yes,
another
Sunderland
club that
is.
I can't think of, but yes. And I in my head,
QPR.
it's,
Pat G song, Rio Ferdinand. Park, park, wherever you will be.
I thought
You eat dogs in your own country. You could be worse. You could be scouse. Eating rats in your council house. That's the best song we had.
For those international listeners, hello. People from Manchester, it's generally accepted that we all hate Scousers. And as you know, we all hate Scousers. Oh, Manchester is wonderful. United! 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 Yeah, I've just upstaged you, Craig. Deal with that. You were the cabaret acts before the main highlight performance.
That's fine. I don't mind warming the audience up for you. That's what it's all about.
You were Whitney Houston to my Pink Floyd.
Don't mock the dead.
I'm not mocking the dead, I'm just saying... Never mind.
Yes, you are.
You're just jealous! And now you're trying to cover it by talking about Whitney Houston being dead.
Too far.
It's not too far at
far.
all. I'm
Sorry
just...
to all of the Whitney Houston fans who are listening to this. David's a bit insensitive today.
Sorry, I'll for all them Whitney Houston fans, I'll just say... And I will always love you. There you go, is that better? Have I made it up to him now?
No.
Well, I'm not doing another verse. Partly because I don't know any more of it.
Made my ears bleed.
Did I?
Yes.
That's cruel, Craig.
Have you got any tissue that I can put in them? The blame is pretty bad.
How rude. So just going back onto the transfer market, Craig, obviously another big sort of move that's happening in the summer now will be Steven Gerrard moving to the MLS, the other graveyard of Premiership players.
Yeah.
It used to be
Big
Galatasaray,
Yep.
but now it is the MLS.
Yes.
Do you think this is a good move for Steven Gerrard?
Yeah. If I was in his shoes, I'd definitely be going.
Bad move for Liverpool, though.
Oh, yeah. We should have offered him a contract last year. None of this. Oh, we'll offer you a year contract when you've got 6 months left to run on it, especially after all that he's done for the club. You should have...
I think Steven Gerrard should have had some of the dignity that Ryan Giggs had. Ryan Giggs was happy signing the year contract and making 5-6 appearances, but I mean Gerrard would have made 20-25 appearances.
Yeah, but you don't know the way that Brendan Rodgers has maybe worded a few things to Steven Gerrard. I mean, obviously Gerrard's been starting on the bench a bit more this season, only being selected in certain games. Now, is that a case that Brendan Rodgers has said to him, you're not good enough to be in the first team anymore? Whereas imagine with Ryan Giggs, he might have said, we're going to pick games especially for you so you can have a maximum impact on him, instead of just saying, you're not good enough to play in the first team anymore.
I do question Gerrard's reasoning for leaving. I think that this bullshit about going winning trophies and medals, does the MLS title really mean anything whatsoever in that weak league against still playing in the top league, arguably the top league in the world, and the Champions League, which you still obviously get games in, although maybe not next season because are Liverpool in Champions League spots at the moment? I don't think they are. No. But to be playing in the top league, I think he's gone for the money. He's gone to make a big paycheck.
Well, his only way of winning a league title in a Premiership is if he moves at the minute to Chelsea or Manchester City. He's not going to do that because Liverpool fans will be up in arms about it. There'll be riots in the street if he did that. So he's got to go somewhere. May as well go to America where he doesn't have to learn a new language.
Yeah,
he's got to have the sunshine in LA.
Yeah, but fourth in the Premiership's better than first in the MLS.
Yeah, that's true. But
no offence to the American League, but it's nonsense. It's not worth anything. It will be in a few years, the way players are going over there now and they're developing the league. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, really, are you saying I want to go and win trophies and medals and I'll do that at the MLS? Do they mean anything compared to the Champions League medals?
It's the lifestyle over there, isn't it? I'd definitely be doing the same.
Yeah, but just come out and say that. Don't come out with the bullshit of, oh yeah, well, I'm going over there to win more medals and trophies.
Well, there you go, Steven Gerrard. You've been challenged publicly on this show. If you wish to fight back against David, please get in touch.
You won't, because he's a chicken. A Scouse chicken. Who's just going to a Scouse chicken who's just going out there now to make some money and live the LA lifestyle in retirement and try and do what David Beckham did, but fail miserably because no one could compare to what David Beckham did out there. He's just going out there for the money. Trophies, my ass. Yeah, he'll win trophies, but it doesn't mean jack. It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know if Landon Donovan at the... Is it Landon Donovan?
Yeah.
No, it's Clint Dempsey, isn't it?
Yeah, Clint Dempsey, it's the Sounders.
Yes, Clint Dempsey will have something to say about LA Galaxy winning the league. The Seattle Sounders will be there.
I don't think they will.
Go Seattle, yeah.
Thierry Henry won't have anything to say. Thierry Henry will have something to say about that, but on Sky Sports.
Yes, he will. Frank Lampard may or may not eventually have something to say about it.
Other sports channels are available, i.e. BT Sport, but that is
Eurosport.
wank. Eurosport's good.
Yeah.
I like Eurosport.
Get you good winter sports in there.
Yeah, you get good obscure sports that you get into. I have sat there and religiously watched curling on Eurosport.
And here we are on the annual Horseshoe Championships.
There's a lot of cycling on Eurosport as well, and I like watching competitive cycle races. But again, we're getting distracted. The main joke was BT Sports shite. We could do a better job.
They've hired Phil Neville, haven't they?
Have they?
No
one's hired.
No. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
No one has hired Phil Neville.
I'm sure he's on BT Sport or BBC. He's on one of them.
He's on BT. He's on BBC because he did the World Cup, didn't he? Where he was
boring. BBC. I'm getting mixed up. They're both crap. So.
Oh, the BBC didn't used to be. They've let it go. Oh, and Andy Townsend leaving ITV as well.
Yeah, shocker.
ITV is just throwing in the football now. Then again, they did the second they put Adrian Childs in charge of the programming.
Yeah, he's awful.
Oh, that I saw him Champions League final when he was standing next to the trophy. I just wanted someone to pick it up and hit him over the head with it.
Yeah.
Or someone to get confused with his giant ears and think he was the trophy. Charles, we've done it! I've always noticed though actually that on the Champions League final, the coverage on ITV, the picture quality on ITV is a lot worse than the picture quality on Sky Sports.
Yeah,
even if you're watching them both in HD.
Never actually noticed.
Yeah, I think ITV must pay for like a slightly cheaper quality feed or something.
Cheaper lens or something.
Yeah, because the one on Sky always looks better.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
We've been distracted. It is
Yes.
now time to move on to our next bit, which is now Craig's favourite segment of the show. It is...
Biggest fails of the week.
Yes, it's time for Biggest Fails of the Week. This is where we analyse people, organisations and just general things that have failed this week. So let's get on. My first biggest fail of the week this week, Craig, is to anyone who spent hours religiously raising coins or buying FIFA points to try and get a Team of the Year card on FIFA 15. Because no one was ever going to get it except for about 5 people, and then they immediately listed them on the transfer market for 15 million.
What's Ultimate Team?
You know exactly what Ultimate Team is, Craig.
There's going to be people listening who don't know what it is. So
no one knows what Ultimate Team's like.
Not everyone who's listening is going to know what that is. Please explain.
Ultimate Team's like Pokemon, but for footballers. And you use the game FIFA.
It's a trading card game.
Yes, it's a trading card game, but you then go and play football matches with your trading cards. Although not actually with the cards. They turn into real players. Don't act like you don't know what it is. You know what it is.
I'm just voicing what I imagine the...
Craig, you just don't want to talk about it because your Ultimate Team is rubbish.
In high division than you, mate.
You're in high division because you're better at the game than me, but my team's better than yours. If we had you playing with my team, we would be the best team in the world.
It's not the tools in the toolbox, it's a man who uses them but makes a difference.
It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean.
That's how David gets by in life, everyone.
I'm not even going to say that. But yeah, anyone that tried, especially, actually, biggest fail of the week goes to everyone that tried to get on when the strikers were announced and crashed the FIFA servers, so those of us that weren't trying to get the Team of the Year cards couldn't play. Yes, well done everyone. You ruined it for everyone. I was furious. Although I did try and get the Team of the Year cards, but I wasn't spending like ridiculous amounts of money on it like everyone else was.
Yeah.
And then they immediately put them on the transfer market for like 25 million coins, which no one has
Who's
got.
even got that many coins?
What?
Who even has that many coins?
There is a YouTube channel with a guy that has like, he did a pack opening with like 9 million coins.
How's he got them coins?
He's sponsored by one of these coin selling websites,
Ah,
which are against the FIFA terms and conditions.
yes.
So don't do it. Is our official word on that?
Cheating.
Cheating. Well, kind of cheating.
Yeah.
It's not the worst kind of cheating. The people.
You're not giving your money to EA, so we see it as cheating.
Yeah, but EA makes enough off us as it is.
Yeah.
How much is a game? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but it's not as bad as the cheaters on the PC version. That's why I'd never buy the PC version.
Right, so that was the first fail of the week.
FIFA, Craig, one of your biggest fails of the week, please.
My biggest fail of the week was this guy. He's gone over to Hong Kong, bought 94 iPhones apparently, and tried to smuggle all of them in China because they're actually cheaper to buy in Hong Kong than they are in China. So he's gone through airport security with all of these phones actually taped to his body. So you know if you've ever been to an airport and you have like a little tray, you say you put your phone in there. Obviously you couldn't put 94 phones in it. So he seamlessly thought he could actually walk through the scanner and no one would notice anything. Now the bleeper didn't actually go off. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, I got away with it here. But then one of the observant security guards has noticed he's running like he's walking like he's shit himself. I'm thinking, looks a bit heavy now, what's going on? And when he'd done this search of him, he's had all these phones completely taped to his body. And there's actually a picture of him on the internet, which is pretty funny.
See, I didn't know the bit about the security guard spotting him walking funny and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's how he started
the scene I imagined was him going through customs and they were like, have you got anything to declare, sir? And he'd be like,
he just pulls this up and it looks like a bomb. He's like, "Rrr."
No, I have nothing to declare. And then all of a sudden under his jumper, all that they could hear was...
That ringing.
Are you sure? No, that's nothing. Let me tell you now, that is nothing. What is that noise, sir? I don't know what you're talking about. That's just my phone. But all 94 of the phones doing that. I bet it didn't have them on vibrate.
No.
It looked like them
We had
things...
to walk. It's like a permanent massage, wasn't it?
No, do you remember the things when we were kids? They were like balls and they had all them nubs on them. And it vibrated all against the floor. You just have him going through Hong Kong International Airport, just going. Yeah. So yeah, if you're going to smuggle 94 iPhones, probably don't strap them all to your body. Would be the lesson from that.
Yes.
Another of my biggest fails of the week this week was it happened today actually during Soccer Saturday.
Oh yeah.
The fire alarms went off.
Really?
Yes. I didn't actually see this. Also, was the reaction afterwards.
Is it live?
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't see the bit leading up to it because I only saw it afterwards. I normally do watch it, but I wasn't watching it today. But there is a clip on the internet. It's probably on YouTube.
What sort of an alarm was it? Was it like a...
No, they did. I don't know if there's probably... It's probably out on YouTube. All I saw was the bit when they came back into the studio when Jeff Stelling was wearing a fireman's helmet and they had the firefighters in the studio with him. Yeah. And he was just like, the fire alarms have gone off. They've ruined Soccer Saturday. I'll put a link in the annotations.
So potentially for about 5 minutes on Sky Sports it would have just been an empty desk.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find the footage and I'll try and link it into the video via an annotation because I've not seen the bit before.
Would you do the weekly fire alarm test? Because most places do it.
I'd imagine not live on air because they evacuated the whole thing.
Yeah.
Jeff Stelling had to get going and everything.
VIP, get him out first. Quick, Jeff, quick!
Everybody run! I just like to think Jeff Stelling threw his pad and just ran out and went, in a bit, boys, and everyone was just like, Rah!
Got Chris Kamara there. This is unbelievable.
Alan McAnally, there's been a goal at Southampton!
There's been a fire in the Sky Studios.
The fire alarms have gone off into Sky Studios. Let's go over to Chris Kamara. This is unbelievable, Jeff!
We're all outside, it's freezing.
And then they cut to Paul Merson, who'd be like, what is a fire? He's an idiot. I don't agree with Paul Merson. I don't
quickly
like
over to Phil Thompson. Yeah, so let's just talk about Liverpool now. Good day, yeah. Steven Gerrard, I love you, mate. Yeah.
I might be slightly controversial here, but just quickly talking about Soccer Saturday. You know the bird that does it? Oh, I don't think she does do it anymore.
That blonde one?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, the brunette one.
I'm not sure.
The one that you look at and think, she's not the traditional fit, but because she's talking about football, she becomes fit.
I don't know.
But I believe she made a sniding remark to Jeff Stelling, and I don't think I've seen her on it since.
Wow, what did she say?
I can't remember what it was, but she was there. She just made that snidey comment, and Jeff Stelling kind of ignored it, but I don't think I've seen her on it since.
We'll have to have a look on YouTube later and see what it was.
Have a search and find it. If I find it, I'll put the link in the annotations. I might put a picture of her as well.
Yeah.
In the pictures of the video version, and then you can tell us what you think. But I think she's not traditionally fit, but because she's talking about football, she becomes very fit. You know what I mean?
No.
If you saw her in the pub, just having a drink, you probably wouldn't like look at her and go, yeah. But because she's talking about football, and it's a woman talking about football, she's not bad looking, but because she's talking about football, she becomes very attractive.
There's only one girl in my life that I think about like that, mate. Just one.
Don't lie.
No. Genuinely.
I've got a partner. We've been happily together now for 4 years. And we have a child together. We've got another one on the way. And I love her. She's the love of my life. And I would never leave her. And I would never cheat on her, etc., etc., etc. But we all window shop. Just because I go to the Apple store and look at the brand new shiny iPhones in the window does not mean I'm going to go in there and buy one. But it's nice to look. Let's just not pretend otherwise. Any guy that says...
disagree.
You're just saying this just because your other half will be listening to this. My other half will be listening to this, but she won't care. What?
I'll just tell her if there's something come out. She won't listen to it.
Craig, don't lie.
Nope.
Any guy that says he doesn't look is lying.
Nope.
You're lying.
Nope.
Tell the truth.
I am.
Stop trying to lace up your boots and pretend
The lace have come undone.
Pretending you're not walking anywhere. You're sitting in a chair. Stop avoiding the issue. You window shop. We look. We all look.
I do not window shop.
Yes, we do.
Nope.
You telling me on your browsing history on your iPhone there's not porn?
Yeah, because they have privacy turned on, so there's no browsing history.
So you look at porn then, right? There we go. So you do window shop.
I've not said that.
You did, because you said you just
on,
said I put private browsing on.
Private browsing's always on. There's no history whatsoever.
Craig is not happy about that being put on the spot, and it will demand this is taken out in the edit.
No, you can keep us on. It's absolutely fine.
Hi, by the way, if you're listening, Craig's other half. I won't mention by name to ruin Craig's anonymity that he wants. But hello, right? Your next biggest fella of the week, Craig.
That was it for me.
You've not got anything else.
Bit of a busy week, mate.
You just do nothing. I'll go for another one then. Just generally, Celebrity Big Brother.
Is that back on?
Again. I think that's a massive fail. Especially since one of my sworn enemies, who we mentioned last week, is in the house. I've not watched any of it, but I know she's in the house from the news, from my Facebook feed. Katie Hopkins.
Oh, she in it?
Yeah. I'm not even going to go on that one again. But yeah, Celebrity Big Brother's just one massive... It's the biggest fail.
There's that guy, wasn't there, who used to be in Coronation Street, who pulled someone's dressing gown open or something. I think he's getting in trouble for doing it. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's like some model in there, and they're having like a bit of a debate. She come over to talk to him, and I think he's just allegedly, I've not seen this myself, it was like on the TV and word of mouth I've heard of it, he's like pulled a gown open. So like over 200 people like complained about it, and he's been taken out. That
was all 200 people that were actually watching it as well.
Probably was.
Although Katie Price
it's going on MTV, innit?
What?
I'm sure I saw an advert the other day.
Really?
MTV, yep.
I thought it was on Channel 5.
It's on Channel 5 at the minute. I don't know if it's staying on Channel 5 and MTV are showing replays, or if they're going to be doing the new ones on MTV.
No.
So it'll probably all take off when MTV get it, because they'll just pump loads of money into it.
Big Brother's had its day, I'm sorry to say. Back when we were kids and it was first on, the first couple of series, it was interesting because it was like, wow, this has never been done before. And it was interesting. But it's just too far now.
Yeah.
The second Channel 4 got rid of it, it was done.
Yeah. As soon as Davina went.
Yeah. Well, the second anything goes to Channel 5, it's going to die a death, innit? Channel 5 will ring it for every last penny it's worth and then chuck it off to satellite.
How long watch it for Europa League on Channel 5?
No, although I do like the commentator. The guy that also does 5 Live commentary. Jonathan somewhere or another.
Ross.
No, not Jonathan Ross. Imagine Jonathan Ross doing football commentary. Hello, this is Jonathan Ross. As you can see,
Wayne Rooney on the ball now.
I was just going to do Wayne Rooney as well.
Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling. And we shouldn't mock people with speech impediments.
No.
Jonathan Ross doing football commentary.
Yeah,
no, the Jonathan I'm talking about did the commentary to Robot Wars, if you remember that.
Was that Jonathan Ross?
No, it wasn't Jonathan Ross. It was the Jonathan I'm talking about. I can't remember his name. I'll put an annotation up.
Greg Charles used to be on that, didn't he? He was good. Who'd he call Greg Charles? Craig Charles.
Not Greg Charles.
Craig Charles.
Craig Charles, yeah. I've just always been a fan of his from the Red Dwarf days.
Yeah, it was good.
If you haven't watched Red Dwarf, go and watch every episode of every series except for maybe the Dave exclusive one that they did. Other than that, go and watch them all because Red Dwarf is an incredibly amazing show. I remember every Thursday night, even going back to like last year of primary school, every Thursday night, 9 o'clock, it used to be Shooting Stars and then Red Dwarf.
I used to always be in bed before 9 when I was in primary school. That's no joke. I think I was going to bed about 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Craig, it's bedtime. But, Mom, I just want to watch one episode. No, Craig, it's your bedtime. Get to bed now.
No, isn't it? It was like...
Do you have a TV in your bedroom?
Just one more game on FIFA, please. Please, Mum, no.
Do you have a TV?
No, turn it off!
My mum used to do that to my brother because he'd be on. Because this is now when you could play games on the internet and everything. He'd be jammed on it till like 2 a.m. She used to have to switch.
What? He'd have school the next day.
Yeah, I mean literally like 5 a.m, even worse, right?
So he'd get like 1 hour sleep before school.
Yeah. No wonder he's a fit end now. But she used to turn the Wi-Fi off.
Really?
to try and stop it. And now with wireless controllers, you can obviously just take the controller. Well, you could with wire controllers, but it's a lot easier now. But yeah, game addiction. We must cover that at some point because it is a really big issue as well. But I mean, people think it's a new problem, but even back when we were kids, I remember staying up till dead late on the Game Boy playing Pokemon.
Yeah, I've done an all-nighter on Pokemon before.
I must evolve my Pikachu so when I go into school the next day with my Game Boy Color and my Game Link cable, no wireless for us, Game Link cable, which costs you like 30 quid extra, I can fight my arch nemesis at school with my level 45 Pikachu.
You would evolve it to Raichu before then. Just use a Thunderstone.
No, you never evolved into Raichu. Raichu was poor. Pikachu, that was the way.
It was good.
No, Pikachu, you had to keep him as Pikachu.
Okay.
And the trading cards as well, take them into school.
God, I used to hate them. Well, I used to love him, but now I look back, I hate him.
I used to love him until it started getting to the stage where people were actually getting...
beaten up for him.
Yeah.
People were stealing him.
Yeah, look at my shiny rare Charizard.
I saw... Were you at the same high school when Pokemon cards was kind of rife?
No, I don't think so.
When I was going on, it was like year 7, year 8. And I seen so many fights happen just because of Pokemon cards. I saw some guy have a door rammed into his face over not giving someone a Pokemon card.
You promised me shiny rare Charizard. You have not delivered on this promise. We shall now duel. Or as kids are actually...
But around like some weird battle, like I never knew how to do him. And what if he said like, right, I'll go first. And his attack, it was like, oh, it's a min attack, and it just killed this other guy's Pokemon straight away. He's like, right, give me your card now. He's like, no, it's mine.
Craig was too busy punching people in the forehead and breaking his knuckle on them.
A few years later.
Anyway, right, so that was...
Biggest fails of the week.
And now to our final segment, which is And Finally, where we discuss a story that has made us smile. And this week, Craig, I have got one that has just come out again today.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a man who was on the subway in New York City. In New York, he went to go and get a coffee. That was a really bad New York accent. He was on the subway and there was a anti-gay preacher spouting out anti-gay propaganda on this subway for all to hear.
Okay.
Like, if two lesbian people have a child and they're raising this child, how do you tell the child he is being raised in sin? And all that guff. So this guy decided to combat it, and the interview is quite good. If you can find, it's been quoted a few times, so if you can find the quotes in the interview, check it out, because he said, at first I didn't want to disturb him because everyone, the First Amendment gives everyone the right to free speech, but then after a while I basically realised he's a cockend. So to combat this, what he did was he broke into a musical number to drown him out.
Was this an improvised musical number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just standing by the doors. He'd had enough of this guy, decided to drown him out, and in sort of the most flamboyant fashion he could, he broke into I Have a Golden Ticket from Willy Wonka. So this guy's there like, gays are an abomination!
So was he dancing around to this as well? As he was singing it?
Yeah, he was waving his arms and stuff. There's YouTube footage, which I will link to in the annotations. As he's going, so basically this guy's going, gays are an abomination! And then he drowns him out by going, I have a golden What happened there? I can't sing. Gays are an abomination. I have a golden ticket. Yeah. Just drown him out.
Good on him.
And then I believe the anti-gay preacher was dragged off the subway by the police. But the interesting thing as well is this guy is not religious and he also wasn't gay.
Really?
Yeah, so he wasn't going at it as I'm a gay and I'm offended by this. He was just like, this guy's just offensive, so let's drown him out with Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Of all the things to choose as well, Willy Wonka.
Yep, very good.
So that is our And Finally. And that brings us to the end of the show, Craig. No, you see, if you nod, then people can't see you. So you have to say yes.
I thought this was all on webcam.
No, you idiots.
So why am I sat here with no top on, flexing constantly for the last hour and a half? Because no one's looking.
Just for my personal pleasure, Craig.
I've been tricked.
So don't nod, because people can't understand. People can't see that.
But yes, thank you for listening today.
Yes, Craig moves it swiftly on. So yes, that is the end of the show, episode 2, and it has been fun. I hope that we have made progress from episode 1. We've gone past our mistakes.
Yep.
And we continue to get better. What was your favourite part of the show, Craig?
My favourite part of the show was... I don't know. I really like the fails of the week, to be honest. They're usually pretty good stories. They're probably my favourite.
Yeah, I don't think it was as good as last week.
No, we had some good ones last week, but it's been a pretty slow news week.
Yeah, it's been really weird. Our first week on it, we chose to do last week, and there was like 2 major news stories that we had to cover.
Well, we had to leave some stories out because we're running out of time.
Yeah, we had to, and we had to. The other thing as well is a lot of people listened to the first episode and only heard the first story and then given up on it.
Yeah.
But it was a really dense subject so that we couldn't really joke or get going with.
Yeah.
Whereas this week it's been quite quiet in the news generally, so we've been able to pick and choose a bit more because everything's, instead of like 1 or 2 stories saturating the news coverage, we could pick and choose because they were all on a level playing field. So we picked and choose, and I think we've got better. I think we've ironed out the bugs.
Please let us know if we have,
yes,
or if we haven't.
Please let us know. It's time to plug all the social media again. You can follow us on Twitter @HotPotatoShow. Myself, David Allen, I am @JHF2004. And Craig's Twitter will be in the description and on an annotation on this video because I'm making him set it up right now. On Facebook, search The Hot Potato Show, or you can find us at the link www.facebook.com/The Hot Potato Show. You can email us, old-fashioned I know, but you can email us thehotpotatoshow@gmail.com. If you're listening on iTunes, we have a video version of this podcast. Well, I say video, it's just a bunch of pictures. That's on YouTube. Search The Hot Potato Show. That is the name of the channel. And if you're listening on YouTube and want to take us out on the go, then you can download us to your iDevice via iTunes. Also, search for The Hot Potato Show in the podcast section, or find us under New and Noteworthy. So, that is it. Craig, it is time to say goodbye.
Oh,
I know.
again.
But people think we go on enough already, and I can't really extend it anymore.
Okay.
Okay. But we will be back next week!
Hooray!
Yes! And hopefully we will have lots of comments to go through and some news stories. Something will happen during the week, hopefully.
Yeah, please let us know if there's anything that you wanted to talk about as well.
Nominate your biggest fails of the week to us.
Yes.
Oh, we could start a hashtag on Twitter. That could get it going.
Yeah, go on.
I think biggest fails of the week is long though. Maybe we need to use
There's
it.
probably already one.
Yeah, maybe if we use the abbreviation. So hashtag BFOTW.
Yeah, give it a go.
That works. So yes, tweet us with the hashtag BFOTW and nominate your biggest fails of the week as they come through, and we will use them in the show next week. But yes, that's it. Time to go. Say goodbye, Craig.
Bye, everyone.
You'll hear from us next week. This has been the Hot Potato Show. Goodbye. Oh, Manchester is wonderful. United! United! United!